We have been talking about the regulatory framework, which is now present in the industry in the European context, and for the moment, we all see something in common from the academic perspective, is that the regulation that is in place at this moment is generating difficulties to the academic sector, because the framework itself, it has not been specifically designed for this kind of product. This is one problem. On the other side, we also acknowledge that in the academic environment, there is not such a big structure to understand these regulatory processes. But anyway, it's true that we need to work from the beginning to try to understand well what we need to prepare to go through an approval. That is true, and to work very closely with the regulatory agencies to understand what we need to prepare. But in any case, it is clear that these products are very special. They are not the same that a chemical product, and we need to consider their specificity in order to understand and to give the appropriate idea of how we are going to deal with them. This is something that we are doing, but we are doing inside a context that is perhaps not the best one. So we need to work together as networks to try to make the system more adapted to what we are doing. We also need to work in academic networks and strengthen also the collaboration with industry in such a way that we are more partners that we have been doing so far. So I think that there are quite some things that we need to modify to make it work more sustainable for the whole system, so that at the end we will be able to produce more therapies for more patients, because basically this is what we want, to be able to treat as many patients as they need. And so far, if we continue in this way, probably it's going to be a certain way almost impossible. So we really need to think about it and to work together to establish collaboration, to offer different proposals to make things more adapted to what we are doing. I think that something very important is to be aware from the beginning that if you are thinking in a product that has a therapeutic potential, you really have to be aware from the beginning, because you have to plan in advance what are the requirements that the regulatory agency is going to ask you. So this is very important, because otherwise you may be doing experiments that will not be required, and then you are wasting time and resources. And on the other side, you maybe will not do some things that they are going to ask you. And if you are not ready, then when you arrive to prepare something, to ask for something, you will not be prepared. And then you will have a delay, an extra cost also, because you were not thinking about that. So I think that something that is very important is that you are from the beginning, if you think that your product has a therapeutic potential, that you are working in something that you want to use it for treating patients, you have to be aware from the beginning and to start thinking from that perspective. Communicate with the regulatory agencies, start contacting with your regulatory people in your institution to get advice of what kind of things are required to comply with the regulation. This is very important, because otherwise, as I said, you may be doing things that are not required, and you may be not doing things that will be required. So somehow I think that this is quite important.